Okay, sorry, Sara, for just to give us some other minutes about it, but I wanted to point it out, something important you said. Have you got, at the moment, in the Systembolaget, the percentage of the sustainable wines, not only organic, but in the different wave of organic production, sustainable production? Can you give some data, some figures about it?
Obviously, this is important because you need to know as a producer or supplier to Systembolaget that it's worth investing in these new, more sustainable products. So I just told you that we are still 25, more than 25, I think it was 25.6% of the wines being sold in volumes are organic. So obviously that makes a difference. And if you're not in organic, you will lose market share possibly. So when we talk about the climate efficient packaging, now almost 60% and 2 more percentages than last year is on any other packaging except glass bottles. So 60% of wines sold are in more sustainable packaging than glass bottles. When it comes to our sustainable choice, in March, 15% of the wines sold got a sustainable choice etiquette on the shelf. And now in August, it's 18.6%. So only in 6 months, we increased by quite substantial. And if you look at the number of products in March, we had 200, and now in September, there are 270. So there are a lot of producers converting to being in line with the requirements for sustainable choice.
Thank you, Sara. Just translate a couple of minutes. Sì, ha spiegato quelli che sono alcuni dati abbastanza eclatanti su quello che è oggi la percentuale di vini, in questo caso organic wines, cioè quindi vini biologici, che ormai rappresentano il 25,6% delle vendite, diciamo, del Systembolaget. Questo è già un dato importante, ma la cosa ancora più interessante è proprio riferita anche a quelli che oggi possiamo definire vini sostenibili, che sono all'interno di una serie di diverse certificazioni, in particolare quelli legati al packaging. Sul tema dei packaging sostenibili io credo che dovremmo anche qui fare una lunga riflessione per laicizzare gran parte di alcune resistenze che oggi ci sono anche all'interno di alcune denominazioni, ma questo è un altro argomento, che per loro rappresentavano a marzo un 15% delle loro vendite nella rappresentanza dei loro negozi, sono già saliti in 6 mesi al 18,6% e un assortimento di prodotti che erano 200 prodotti e sono diventati 270, cioè quindi a testimonianza che ormai è un processo, diciamo, continuo, legato alla spinta certo del consumatore svedese, ma anche all'adeguamento da parte di sempre di più aziende che sono o già oggi pronte in una fase ovviamente di conversione per rispondere al meglio a quella che è la domanda del Systembolaget, dettata comunque dai consumatori del suo paese. Ok, Sara, thank you. I have the last question, because of course we already talked in this conference about also the the perspective in the future about the sustainable wines, but also if the consumer are ready to spend a little bit more about sustainable wines. From your point of view, what do you think? The Swedish consumer, they are prepared to spend a little bit more, or sustainable now is something that consider essential, so they don't want to spend more, but they consider to buy sustainable wines something essential for their lifestyle, and as you said before, because they think that it's possible in some way to save the planet.
I think it's both. It's both essential as well as something the Swedish consumer are prepared to. And what we've seen, not the least during the pandemic, is that when you are not going to restaurants, you are entertaining at home, you tend to put more into the wine you are buying for your home consumption. And it's going to be very interesting to see now when we go into more of a recession. The economic situation are different than it's been before. And what we haven't seen before, it's obviously that we have an inflation at the same time as we have the economy going down. So, but normally during lower economic times in Sweden, having a rather stable economy, generally speaking, is that you don't go to restaurants as much, but you do tend to entertain at home, and you do tend to buy something more exclusive. And then I think it is good times also for the more sustainable products. So I would say that keep up the good work with Equalitas and Viva. No, maybe I should stop there before I continue. I have a little bit sort of finishing off.
Sì, ha ricordato giustamente come anche da loro le crisi economiche hanno un impatto, e quindi anche l'inflazione c'è anche sul mercato svedese, e questo da un lato inciderà comunque anche nella disponibilità economica del consumatore svedese. Allo stesso tempo, cosa che la pandemia aveva già evidenziato in maniera forte, questo spostamento dal fuori casa verso un maggior consumo in casa può anche portare dei benefici, a una disponibilità magari di acquistare vini anche sostenibili da consumare a casa, e ovviamente lì il prezzo può essere più interessante rispetto a quanto poi magari uno è disponibile o nelle condizioni di fare di acquisto ovviamente in un ristorante o comunque nel fuori casa, anche se ha confermato che in termini di prospettiva questo è un processo assolutamente inarrestabile, perché nella coscienza, nella percezione di un numero sempre più vasto di consumatori in Svezia, l'importanza di un acquisto di un prodotto che in qualche misura sia sostenibile, faccia bene alla salute del pianeta, è un qualcosa di forte. Ok, Sara,
before finishing off, I know time is running out. I would just like to say, please continue working with the Viva and the Equalitas certifications that you have in Italy. I think it's very important to have certifications so that we can rely on the what we put on the label or what we say that wine live up to. Work with harmonizing the certifications with other schemes around the world. That's also something we try to be an engine in doing in order to make it more easy for the consumer in the end, because that's important. And continue delivering good organic wines and help us to cut the emissions in the supply chain, both when it comes to packaging, but also to cultivation and production. And do you have any sort of feedback or any ideas on that? Please be in contact with us.
Thank you, Sara. Really, thank you. It was really a pleasure, and you gave us a good help to understand better what's going on in Sweden, but also to encourage us to follow the sustainable production in Italy that we are very involved at the moment. So for us, it's very important to have your point of view. So really, thank you.
Also, in the chat, I also gave where you can read more about what we do on sustainability in English on our website. So it's omsystembolaget.se/English.
Oh, thank you. Thank you also for this information. I will give that to also our audience. Thank you. As you soon, maybe next time in Italy. So it will be really fine. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Take care.